The Wild West and weak wooden shacks were all just made up in the imagination of the new history writers. A majestic old world with at least a few thousand towns in North America has been left behind by an unknown previous humanity from a vaguely understood distant reset event. The founding fathers are not the ones who laid the foundations. They are inheritors who only found the buildings. These were later introduced to the public as labor of the New World celebration. Deemed as temporary, there was no other way to attempt to explain their existence. In actuality, they stood there all along for eons, still perfect. Setting the stage for this new world and new arrivals, it was important to give a story for the textbooks and indoctrinate the upcoming humanity of how everything is supposed to be perceived. Every continent had the so-called World's Fairs or World Expos, events starting from the mid-1800s and beyond until the very recent era. No way to explain how these structures were possible. The World's Fairs narrative needed to be brought forth to later give reason for the destruction of these magnificent sites. Countless structures visibly too big for the stature of the new humans. The scale of buildings is unbelievable. Some reached 1 million square feet. Mainstream narrative claims it took merely months to build thousands of these gigantic structures in different states all across the USA and various other countries where these events were being organized. Undeniable that anything this grandiose would have required massive foundations, many decades to construct, and cost billions. In comparison, even the current era faceless, multi-story glass boxes take many years to complete and cannot compete with the proposed construction timeframes of the elaborate old world masterpieces, where bricks, granite, marble, copper, and other precious metals were used. Entire complexes of thousands of acres were completed in merely months. History books propose that such grandeur was possible to have been built in a very short time. Experienced architects, however, state that this is nonsense. None of it looks temporary because it actually isn't. Scaffolding put around completed old world buildings doesn't turn them into construction photos. Fully grown trees proudly surround these buildings. It speaks of their great age. Officially the dawn of age of electricity, but photographic evidence shows an unbelievable abundance of it. Where are all the resources coming for the immense amount of electricity displayed? Seems like the funding was infinite. Nobody ever replicated this beauty after most of those old structures were demolished. Where were all the power plants to generate this electric energy, or was it just extracted from the ether? 1744 Strasbourg Cathedral in France, fully illuminated with electricity. Early 1800s depictions from Russia show the same technology in full effect. Who cares to question the official age of electricity? It's better to just blindly trust the mainstream narrative, isn't it? Complex waterways, bridges, majestic detailed statues. Logic escapes the structures deemed temporary, but the ones that were not demolished still stand there to this day. The amount of detail, electricity embedded, and the great funding needed. All this effort just for it to later be demolished? Interiors displayed incredible artifacts, state-of-the-art industrial technologies, and machinery never to be seen again after it would all get swept away and destroyed. Planning, envisioning the great cities, 3D projecting, calculating, bringing in resources, millions of tons of materials is an undertaking of the ages. Nobody questions how all the materials were brought onto the sites. The immense task of even planning such endeavors could not have been done without using advanced technology. An impossibility to construct on this scale with great precision using horses and wagons with no adequate equipment. All of the buildings all over the realm share the same attributes. Doesn't matter the continent. The old world lived in harmony and was united in every way. So much sophistication and emphasis on beauty. Monorail trains, moving sidewalks. Nobody sees this technology in the modern era, but in the days of old, no problem. The current humanity has definitely downgraded in terms of all architectural aspects, beauty, aesthetics, longing to create for longevity. Narrative stays the same. Incredible grandeur witnessed for a moment and then reduced to ash. The collective state of mind kept in hypnosis on a sci-fi ball with curved water. What is the potential future built upon if most of the past has been erased and falsified?